Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, where you are at. Listen, I know this is part of the case, but it looks like the prosecution has put out a dump of information from testimony from last week, and what we have is an information dump about who were the escorts that attended or who were present at the freak offs. So we'll get into it and we'll go over all of this from TMZ right after this. All right, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, according to TMZ, I'm not in the right spot. All right. So, according to TMZ, here are the faces of the Diddy freak off escorts. Diddy's alleged sex worker have finally been unmasked as week 2 of testimony gets underway in the music mogul's federal racketeering and trafficking trial in New York City. On Monday, prosecutors released a document dump of exhibits entered into trial evidence, dropping an avalanche of photos and other information. So, what they have compiled is the pictures and the pieces of meat, and some of the people that we were familiar with, and then some of them that we weren't. We're just going to launch the gallery. It is not going to be that long, people. I don't know why it's not launching. How about if we refresh it? So let's see. So this is one person, government exhibit 2A616. I know that was called out in court. And this is the name going by Skylar for Los Angeles. Well, it comes from this escort service. Then we have Jonathan Odie. We're familiar with him now. He's the one that caused some havoc at a Trump golf course down there in Florida. But he is also the person who they were talking about had copies of who had taped that Cassie had told Diddy that she had taped the incident. And so he's the person that they were talking about. This is Ash. And it says here he worked in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and Ibiza. So it's quite clear with where they worked and when they worked that apparently with the count. Hold on, I'm just trying to pull it up. With the transporting of people for the purpose of sex, it's clear that that part of the indictment has been, in my opinion, proven. This is Brian from Craigslist, hired in New York. So is that Brian Phillips? Is that him? This is Greg from Miami. This is Jake from State Farm. No, just from Los Angeles. This is Johnny in Los Angeles. He was in New York and Miami. And this is Jules. He was talked about. This is unidentified. He's unidentified. He's also unidentified. And they must have pulled, these must have been the pictures that were pulled off, I guess, from their websites. But that's it, y'all. Probably can't hear it, but that's okay. But baby, just too much, too much, too much, too much. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. But if y'all weren't familiar with the little boy dancing, here right here at the front, this little boy right here, if you see it, you know that's Jermaine Dupri. And they're singing The Freaks Come Out. So anyway, like I said, I just was curious. I just wanted to come on here and give that information because it was there to give. Y'all, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Sometimes it's just easier for me to go live than it is for me to just try to do this as a video. But yeah, the prosecution is coming, and apparently, shout out to Inner City News that they petitioned the court to have the exhibits, and the judge ruled that all the exhibits and things that they did from the previous week, they're going to dump it at the end of the week. So they had the prosecution or the defense, whoever has the prosecution has the exhibits, that they dump them for the public to be able to view them the week after they have been used in court. So we'll be paying attention to that. I'll be making sure that I pay attention to see when that information, when these exhibits are dropped, so that I can go ahead and peruse them with you all. All right, people, we do this every week. Let's please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. So what did y'all think about the visuals of the escorts? What did y'all think? What did y'all think? I mean, I thought with the ones that I saw, they were decent. They looked decent. We'll see if anybody else will come up and testify or anything like that. But basically what I've seen, and just to go over what I think so far after all this testimony, this case seems like a slow burn. I think we need to get out of, there's going to be a Perry Mason moment or a Matlock moment where this is going to be this one witness or this one thing that's going to show up and just turn the tide of the case. I think what the prosecution is doing is giving you the information and building it up to let you know that this is what's happening. So last week, everything was about the freak offs. And it looks like this week, mostly everything is about the violence and everything attached to that violence. So they've already shown, in my opinion, the prosecution about the bribery. I think that they bribed the Intercontinental Hotel. I think that they bribed Cassie's best friend so she wouldn't talk about her stuff and her injuries. I think that if they're going to come in, I'm really want to hear about this arson. I really want to hear about what's going on with that arson. I think that they've already proven that these escorts have been taken across state lines. That's already been proven. So I think that if at the least that's what they get, because again, with the RICO, that you have to prove two of the 8 counts, 2 of the 8 pieces of that count in order for there to be a conviction. And so I think that they've done the bribery part, but now they've got to show the other elements. So we'll see what's going to go on, and we see what they're going on. Because again, if you're looking for that one witness that's going to turn the tide to this whole case, I don't think that you'll find it. I think they're just trying to get the pieces of information that they need to get from each witness that testifies. Each witness has, I look at it as like a puzzle. Each witness has a piece of that puzzle, of this completed puzzle that the prosecution is trying to finish in regards to the racketeering, the trafficking, and the transportation. So there's pieces to each one of them, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to fill in those pieces. And once they fill those pieces in, then they would have said that they've made their case. And the defense's job is to poke holes in everything and to leave a lot of doubt. I think today, the only thing that stood out to me was last week, everybody was like, well, Diddy is under the influence of illegal substances. And so, therefore, this is why he's triggered, because when he gets off these illegal substances and he's trying to detox, that's when his everything flares. I think what we got from the witnesses today was the fact that no, it wasn't about the illegal substances. He would be clear and pretty much sober in his mind, and he still did the things that he did to Cassie and her friend. And so we've got the personal assistant, and I think the personal assistant is going to testify to the behavior with the staff, if I'm not mistaken. So we will gear up for that. So please join me tomorrow. I'm going to start my live at noon. That way we can go over the morning's information. And apparently the courts are now going from 9 to 3, 8 to 3. So they're getting out of court early. So if I start right at noon, I'll be able to give you all the morning information, and then we'll be caught up with the evening, and then go over, if I can find these exhibits, we'll definitely go over these exhibits. I will go over this article tomorrow during my stream. We'll get involved in it, but I did want to come on here and let y'all know that the freaks are out. All right, people. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker. Tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye-bye.